Let's see what everybody thought of Terror Train 2022. Um, Summary for this film: it follows a college student as she boards a party train for Halloween and ends up fighting for her life when a mysterious assailant begins killing the people one by one. Directed by Felipe Gagnon. Gagnon? How do you say
Gagnon,
that?
Gagnon,
Gagnon.
Gag on it.
Gagnon.
gag on it. Shut up.
And old Felipe also directed Terror Train 2, which came out immediately after this. It's already a sequel.
Never us with Terror Train.
I saw
I'll
that.
check it out though. I'll still check
Yeah,
it
I
out.
probably will watch it too.
Written by Ian Carpenter and Aaron Martin, who both worked on the TV show Slasher as well as the sequel to this film. And Aaron Martin wrote 67 episodes of Degrassi: The Next Generation. So
Not exactly a lightweight.
not exactly. Jason, did they release this? Do you have information?
No tagline.
No.
And then of course there's no physical release. It's a Tubi original with number 2 on deck.
Yeah. Shit. Randy, hit us with your thoughts. You picked
right.
this. This is your fault.
This one's on me. Like I said, I was going through Tubi and I thought, hey, they're remaking Terror Train. Why not give it a watch, right? Oh boy. Yeah, slow setup, CGI blood, dull edge blades. Where do I start? Basically, everything about this screams, I wrote Degrassi High. So it's that generic dialogue. Yeah, you're eating a sandwich there, Frank? All right. It's generic dialogue. Some of the worst special effects and kills for a slasher film I've ever seen. I mean, it's shockingly bad. I mean, I didn't hate the main actress. I liked her quite a bit, but if she's outshining everyone around her, I mean, I haven't seen her in anything. So, she's the most talented person in this cast. I don't know what else to say, nice or not.
Talent by association.
Yeah. I hated everything about this, most of it anyways. The only nice things I could say is I really like those exterior train shots. Those
were they CGI though? Were they CGI?
Don't know. I mean, there were a couple of decent parts. Had they have been better kills, like where did the budget go for this thing? You know what I mean? Like
what
you're
budget?
telling me, yeah, exactly. You're making a movie based on a cult classic, and you're gonna fucking scrimp on actual, knife work for your film, for your slasher movie. What the fuck? I was laughing so hard when they were stabbing that girl in the train in the lay down part of the car, because you could see the knife retracting.
Uh-huh.
I could see it.
But that first kill was pretty good though. I thought that looked pretty good.
That one was all right. I mean, it was okay. For this, yes, it was the best one out of all of them, probably. I hated the twist. They did the pretty much the same idea from the original, but just done a little differently. I hated everything about this. It was as if I was watching a stage production of a movie I kind of liked, like from the 80s. So yeah, or whenever the original Terror Train came out. I don't have that. So yeah, I gotta say, I did not care for this one. This was my bad. I'm very sorry. I'll try to make it up to you next go round. I gave this a 3 out of 10.
Right on. Who wants to go next?
Go for it, John.
All right. So I was never a fan of the original at all. Just okay, Jamie Lee Curtis, slasher on a train, David Copperfield. Okay, right. Whatever. Didn't do much for me. But I watched this. It was a Tubi original. It wasn't the worst slasher ever. I knew it was like $0 budget. They could just ask those kids for volunteers. It was, I mean, it's really, really hard to be original with a slasher. Everything has been done. Like, you really got to go outside the box. So it's a Tubi original slasher. Think about it. What do you think you're getting? All right.
Shit. Complete shit.
Lower expectation. Right. So, all right, cool. Party on the train. We're back on the train again. Hence the movie. I didn't think we were talking about a model train. Like it was okay. I expected CG blood. Kills weren't terrible. They weren't as, even with CG wise, they weren't as gory as they should have been. If you're gonna, I mean, come on. If you're gonna just go for the gusto with CG blood, you might as well go. It's just a couple clicks on the mouse and on the plus sign. Add blood spray. That's all it is. That's all it is, guys. Don't cost.
I would have liked it better if it had just way more CGI blood.
Right. It's like it might as well have.
Yeah.
The main chick, she was a good actress, I guess. As far, like I said, temper expectations. I didn't hate the twist. But because I want to say I've seen that lady in other things. I feel like she was the sheriff in Signs, the woman.
I looked her
like
up and I
her,
didn't
but
see
I
anything.
remember. It wasn't? All right.
I didn't see anything that I recognized her from.
Okay. All right.
Because I thought the same thing. I was like, she's been a mom or she's been a fucking.
Because she
seemed
was like she was like the best actress in the thing.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
thought. Like she was the best actor out of all of them. So she's been doing it for a while. If you want to watch it. If not, you ain't gonna miss something. Right? Like that's all I got. That's all I got. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 only because it wasn't the worst slasher that I've ever.
It wasn't Titanic 666. I'll at least.
Oh my
It was.
God.
Yeah,
the bar is so low.
dude. I mean, just take a big step over it. That's all you got to do.
It's crazy too because look at Tubi's catalog of horror films. They got a ton of great movies on there.
Oh hell yeah!
I think they'd fucking know what they were doing at some point.
It's all about the money, dude. They probably gave them nothing. It had to have been. They're like, well, we're gonna give you like $100,000. Like,
yeah, we already had to get the rights to the title, you know.
Yeah, that's where the budget went. The rights. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Jason.
So I made the mistake of Anne was going to watch this one with me. So, and she had never seen the original. So I made the mistake of we watched the original first, and then we went right into this. Not that the original is a masterpiece, but I do own it. It definitely is. I don't know. Have we rated that before?
No. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that since I was a kid.
Haven't done that?
No.
Well,
you may be remembering a scene from 1031 that had a similar. Was it 1031 Part 2 or 1031 Part 1? There was a similar mask in the roller skating rink.
No. I know what I'm thinking of. That where the devil is on a train.
Oh God damn it! What was that
movie? It don't matter.
Yeah, that terrible movie.
No. So yeah, we watched the original and then we watched this, and I like the original. So going into this, probably judge it a bit more hard. No, that's not true. No, this is just as bad, regardless of whether I watched the original first or not. The production wise, I thought it was going to be kind of like, it's close, but sci-fi looking, sci-fi budget, like a sci-fi original movie. And that's kind of what this played off as. And then all of a sudden, and my youngest is watching this with us, all of a sudden that dude's pounding her on the train. And that like came out of nowhere. Like this came as like a TV movie the whole time, and then they just randomly throw.
Yeah, it was like they were
Yeah.
trying to avoid showing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the way
Then
I
they-
thought it was going.
Yeah, and then they
Like
just
I never expected that at all. It just pops up on the screen. But I mean, he's seen it before. So.
That's the best day of his life so far.
Yeah.
It ended the night well. I know that. I don't know what to say. Everything about it's kind of disappointing. It's not like there was ever a really amazing storyline, but they found some way to kind of make that. As soon as I saw that woman, like I called it. Like I knew what the twist was going to be. So like they didn't even have the story. I don't know. In Terror Train, I didn't know who was the killer in the first one. This one, I called this right from the get go. But I'm with you guys. I would say a 3. I say don't bother wasting your time watching it. What was another? We watched. I mean, I have to now.
Yeah, like
I'm going to. I'm going to.
I gotta see too. I gotta see how this
gotta
ends.
see what happens.
Fucking picture is that magician looking all blue steel and shit. Like
we did. Wasn't there one Tubi original that we did that was halfway decent?
Hellblazers.
Yeah, like Meg Foster and stuff.
Hellblazers.
Hellblazers was good. Yeah, so I don't know. For whatever reason, I was expecting more. I don't know why.
Because it was, Terror Train is kind of a classic. It's like I put it in that category.
It's up there with the slashers, but it's kind of on that. It's like the bottom of the first tier slashers.
So you would expect more, but I almost wish I would have watched the original because I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and I think my opinion of it was skewed by us only having like 6 channels. So like you run across Terror Train on a Sunday on ABC or whatever, you're like, oh, holy shit, this is great.
What I'm doing on my day.
Yeah, so like I may not like it at all today, So
I don't know if I mean it's not great, but it's a 7 for me.
It gets a big pass.
This is a 3.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I really liked the original one. I didn't think
the
it was
conductor
great,
in that one. I really liked the conductor in the first one too. Whatever that guy's name is, he's good.
Well, and the magician's David Copperfield, right? You get that?
Yeah, but I don't think he was very popular.
Prominent.
I mean, obviously.
No, he was coming up. That was right before he got.
Yeah, good luck getting him after he makes the Statue of Liberty disappear. You're not getting that.
He performed everything. Like he came up with the skits that they needed.
Yeah, the magician in this one had some kind of hokey magic shop tricks.
Yeah, he was like da, 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 da.
He was the male eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's I like you guys had a lot of problems with this. Started out with right off the beginning, there's these college guys, these frat guys. I thought this was really outdated. Like I almost was like, what year is this? Until later on their cell phones and shit. But because like hazing frat guys, does that happen still? Like, are these guys, and the funny thing I thought was they all had Letterman jackets on that had no fucking letters on them. There was no buttons, there was no badges. They were completely clean. These fucking dudes didn't accomplish shit. They didn't get a pin. They didn't get any little pilot wings or a Cub Scout badge. Nothing. Just tropey fucking teen villain jackets. And hated that. Hated all the frat shit. Like, and it made me think that the guys that wrote the movie think frats are like really cool, like they were really cool, and now that they're not really a thing.
One line that sticks out: that they asked a girl for something or something like that, and she goes, "No, I left it at the frat house." Like, you don't talk like that.
Yeah,
you either just say house or
frat house.
Home.
How else would you know?
I left it back at the frat house.
Yeah,
that's something they did kind of do better with this one than the original. In the original, they take the train ride. It's a party. It's a New Year's party, but they're all dressed up. I'm like, these guys made it a Halloween
Oh, it was a
party.
New
So
Year's
that,
party?
yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
why
that's
is
right.
everyone
It
dressed
was,
up
yeah.
for New Year's?
Well, they did
But
that
in
in
this one, they made it
trading
Halloween.
places too. Remember,
Yeah,
trading
that was weird.
places.
I always thought
People
that
were
was out of place for some reason, but it was
yeah.
hilarious.
Evidently, people dress up on New Year's. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought they made the annoying guy extra fucking annoying in this thing. Like he dies real quick. Like he's dead within the first 13 minutes of this fucking movie, but not soon enough. They ramped him up. And then after that human boner dies, his Asian buddy picks up the mantle of being the irritating fuckface and is also dispatched rather quickly. So it's not really like it carries on. I was expecting it to keep going though. Like the next person that, finds that dude or whatever is the dickhead and then he gets killed. But the magician was played by Tim Rosen. Did anybody recognize him from anything?
No.
Dude, for half the movie, I thought he was the guy from True Blood that played.
He
Bill
does look
Cosby.
kind of like that, but I was like, what do I know him from? It's from Schitt's Creek. Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
Yeah. Okay.
Remember
only a
Mutt,
couple
the hippie
episodes.
guy?
That's
Mutt?
him. Okay.
No
Yeah.
way.
He looks real rough.
Yeah.
And evidently what happened is he was on Schitt's Creek, and then he got an offer to go on some show called Winona Earp or something like that and
On
be like a
Sci-Fi.
star
Oh, yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So he went and moved over there, and then I guess Schitt's Creek became like, he should have probably just stayed over there. That's probably why it looks like shit in this movie. Made bad choices. But yeah, I think that there was a few other actors I looked at everybody's IMDb. A few other people were on Letterkenny and some other stuff we've seen. The one girl was on several episodes of Letterkenny. I think that the few good actors that are in this and it seems like the filmmakers were a very apt hired crew. Like they came in there just like, all right, let's fucking, like, we know how to shoot a movie and
Polish this turd.
they know how to make a product. So they were hired to come in and do it, and they did it. I really wish that we could have a modern horror movie where nobody takes a selfie. Like nobody fucking does it. Because when's the last time you've seen a horror movie where someone did not take a selfie? And then think about the last time you saw somebody do it in real life. It happens so infrequent in my life, anyways. It's so infrequent that you see that. Maybe it's just because I'm not in places where people want to take selfies. Maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe do you guys see selfies being taken a lot?
Sometimes.
I do.
Several times.
It's not my deal.
But it definitely seemed like the writers were kind of writing themselves into the frat guys, because they were saying a lot of weird shit about like millennial kind of things, like that's the way things used to be before snowflake whatever. And there was one really weird line that the frat guy says to the girl about women or something like that. Like if I said that to a woman and she wasn't even fucking talking about it, it seemed like they were just inserting their own 50-year-old opinions, Gen X, like angry Gen X guy opinions into, I don't know. It seemed weird, man. There was like a lot of fucked up things that were outdated that the frat guys were saying. And then the other side was like coming, you know what I'm saying? Did anybody pick up on that at all?
Yeah.
I just thought it was bad dialogue.
Heavy-handed.
It's very badly written. That's the worst part about it.
The writing ain't great.
It's derivative in every single way. And I don't think that they even paid any sort of tribute to the original film whatsoever. It seemed like they just shit on it. Bought the title and shit on it. I think this is a glass of water. You're not going to stop anybody from drinking it. You're not going to recommend it. 4 out of 10. That's all I can give it.
Someone will like it.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
I hope so, because they made 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe it will be better.
well, maybe it'll answer all the questions you have.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
questions.
All the lingering questions. Like, did that,
Like
did that
all the
old
plot
dog
holes.
live? Yeah.
all the questions that keep you up at night are answered.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who was in the reptile costume?
How did he do that magic trick?
Where did the body go whenever she came back to the bathroom? Like, really just dig down. Like, our podcast is just that movie now.
Oh
Just
yeah.
trying to figure it out.